I don't think riding has ever felt this dangerous. But the strange thing is, I'm not even sure it's coming from the road itself. After posting a video about why riders are quitting, I spent most of the time going through the comments, and something kept coming up. Not just frustration, not just burnout, but this underlying feeling about riding is becoming more dangerous. And it got me thinking, because when I'm actually out riding, it doesn't always feel dramatically different. But when I'm online, watching clips, reading stories, seeing close calls, it starts to feel like everything's getting worse. And I started wondering, how much of that feeling is coming from the road, and how much of it is coming from what we're constantly seeing? Think about the kind of riding content that gets attention. It's not smooth rides, it's not an uneventful commute, it's close calls, near misses, watch this guy almost get taken out. That's what gets clicks. And the more you watch that kind of content, the more it starts to feel like that's what riding is. Even though these moments are actually a tiny fraction of real riding. Then you go to the comments, and you see things like, "This is why I stopped riding. It's not worth it anymore. Drivers are worse than ever." And when you start to see that over and over again, it starts to build a narrative. Not just that riding can be dangerous, but that it's getting worse all the time. Even if that's not something you've personally experienced in a big way. And this is where it gets interesting, because that constant exposure, it doesn't just stay online, it brings it with you when you ride. You start anticipating things more, you start expecting drivers to mess up, you start seeing potential problems everywhere. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Awareness is part of riding. But when it's driven by a steady stream of worst case scenarios, it can make everything feel more tense than it needs to be. So now you've got two things happening at once. When you're riding, things feel mostly normal, but in your head, it feels like everything is more dangerous because you've seen so many examples of what can go wrong, and the line between those two things starts to blur. This actually connects back to why some riders are stepping away, because if riding feels more dangerous, even if nothing has personally happened to you, that feeling alone can change your relationship with it. It can take something that used to feel freeing and make it feel like something you have to constantly manage. And over time, that adds up. So maybe riding hasn't suddenly become more dangerous. Maybe we're just seeing more of the danger than we ever used to. More clips, more stories, more opinions, all compressed into something that feels like a full picture, when really, it's just the loudest moments. Because when you actually get out there and just ride, a lot of that noise fades away, and you're left with what riding has always been. Not perfect, not risk-free, but not nearly as overwhelming as it can feel when you're staring at a screen. That's probably worth remembering. And don't get me wrong, I know a lot of things have happened to a lot of you out there. And I like reading about them because we can all learn from it. But let's just remember how freeing motorcycling can be as well. Thanks for watching. Take care. Ride safe.